everyone, welcome back. If you're a returning viewer, and welcome to new viewers, my name is Shannon Bellum. I am basically Bellum Make on all other platforms. You can find me as Bellum Make on Instagram and on Ravelry. Everything is showing up on the screen right now. So welcome to another week of knitting, and I want to share what I've been up to. It is early in the morning. I'm planning to go into New York City later today to see my son, so I'm recording very early. My hair is a little damp, and yeah, I'm drinking coffee because it's morning. This mug is a Pendleton mug. My brother has a store and he sells them, so we often get them as gifts. And yeah. Okay. Without further ado, let me talk to you about knitting content. Sorry, my cat just jumped up where my camera is, so hopefully, it may jitter, it may rock a little bit. So I just want to share the exciting news that this pattern, Big Bear Snow Bunny, is now published, and through the weekend, through March 18th, all my patterns are 20% off. No code needed. And yeah, I'm so excited. I have already worn it, and I'm super interested to see how this yarn wears. This is Stone Wool Cormo, 100% American Cormo. It's so soft and so squishy. Like it here in the Northeast. I live in northern New Jersey and I work in northern New Jersey. We often get March snows, so we've had a couple snowstorms over the past week. We have a couple more coming, so I'm very excited to be able to wear this a whole lot more. And if for those who haven't seen my other podcast, this is a worsted weight version of Big Bear Ski Bum, which I'm wearing. So the Big Bear Ski Bum it's a very similar pattern. This one I color blocked in 3 different colors, in an aqua, a rust, and a pink color, inspired by the earth tones mixed with pastel thing that was very happening in the 70s, and it's the 70s are back, which I love because I love so many style things about the 70s. So yeah, this version, my Snow Bunny version, besides being worsted, I also did in just one color, but I wrote the pattern so that you could color block it like Ski Bum is color blocked if you wanted. I also wrote it to be straight-sided or to have waist shaping, depending on what you like. My version is straight-sided, but my Ski Bum, it has waist shaping. I actually have some princess lines. The Ski Bum sweater, so I'm learning about pattern writing and about what expectations. It's like not so much that I'm learning the technical aspects of pattern writing, that I'm pretty familiar with as a former fashion designer on 7th Avenue. I get how to write a spec and how to write patterns, but what I'm learning is about what you all like and what you all want in your patterns. So when I did Ski Bum, I didn't quite learn that maybe not everyone wants waist shaping. And I also am learning to do top down, and I really had, as I always do whenever I make a new, sorry, it's white, so it's kind of blowing out a little bit on screen, but I make a top down set in sleeve. When I do bottom up sweater patterns, the sleeve is cast on right here at the cap, and you start with just 10 stitches and then you slowly increase and knit the cap this way, so you do top down on the sleeves. But wow, it's such a challenge to write the pattern mathematically, and even though I think about it in terms of 3D modeling, it's still a challenge. I do a lot of like knitting and ripping out, knitting and ripping out, knitting and ripping out till I get it right. And I'm looking forward to my next couple sweaters are going to be top down, so I'm looking forward to that and seeing if that. I have a feeling it's not going to be as much of a struggle when when I get around to the sleeves. I think if I get the yoke right, everything else should just fall into place. Like those other pieces should just lock into place. So that's what's coming up for me for 2018 in terms of my sweater designs, some top down sweater designs. So that'll be exciting. So yeah, so this is published. Yay! So excited. My other finished object is the Martha's wearing it. I was going to wear this sweater, but I didn't have anything for Martha to wear. So we could have swapped. I may wear this later today. It came out so cute. So this was a test knit for Blacker Yarns. It is called the Sanum Cardigan. It is meant to be knit in Blacker Yarn's new Jacob yarn that got launched last week. And they did a big launch party at EYF this weekend. So yeah, I love their yarns. I knit it out of Indie Dyed yarns, however, because that's what I had on hand, and I'd been looking for a sweater to make out of this Blackberry Jam colorway from Lolo Did It. I just really love it. I think it's such a great, rich, purpley, burgundy color. I don't know if you're seeing it too well there, but it is it's got orange and black pops of speckles in it. And I paired it with a Otter romp of colors from Undercover Otter. I used 4 of the 5 colors that were in the romp. So a romp is a collection of 100 grams of fingering weight yarn that is divided between 5 different colors. So it's really, really pretty. So I used, I don't know the names. I'm just going to put them on the screen. I don't remember them all. But so there you go. Total of 5 colors. With this first one, first one's called Dolly Dearest. I've been like eyeing this color of Petra's for a long time before I got the Otter Romp. The first color I ran out before I finished the trim, so I decided to tip it with the Blackberry Jam color. I had 3 skeins of Blackberry Jam. I still have pretty much all of the 3rd skein, so this was about a 2 skein, little bit more than 2 skein in my size. I think the 3rd size on the pattern that was listed on the pattern, and it fits nicely. It's meant to be a fitted sweater. I think it has little to no positive ease, maybe 1 inch of positive ease. There's a little more positive ease on the hip, which is nice because if you're wearing it over jeans or something like that, that's going to certainly add to the measurement, your hip measurement. Yeah, and so this was also top down. We start just on the back neck, and then there's this really cute cable detail. Anyway, I don't want to talk too much about it because I've been talking a lot about it over the past few weeks as I've been working on it, but I do really love it. It was a really nice knit. It's a really cool little cardigan pattern. The pattern is free on Ravelry and probably also from Blacker Yarn's website, but I'm not sure about that, but you can definitely find it on Ravelry as a free pattern. Yeah, I'm really happy with it. It also comes longer. There's a longer version on the written on the pattern, and I kind of went in between. I think this version was supposed to be maybe knit like 2 inches more, so maybe it would have ended like here, but so this rib would have been up and this pocket also would have been up, but for my measurements, having pockets right under my boob wasn't really something that I wanted. So I was like, I'm gonna make it a little longer. But yeah, I added waist shaping. I talked about that last week, and just a little bit. I didn't take it in a lot. I took it in just a touch, and I wrote it up on my project page. So if you're interested, you could check it out there. I have a good close-up picture of the waist shaping as well. Yeah. So that's my finished object. So published pattern, finished object, works in progress now. I have been really kind of monogamously knitting on this pattern. This is the Doodler by Stephen West. Let me see if I can show you a good picture. This is, there we go. So this pattern it's in 3 colors. One, the cable is a second color, and then the bottom trim is a third color. I'm almost done. I'm knitting this for my niece. Her birthday's tomorrow, and I expect to finish this tonight. So it'll go on the blocking mats tonight. Because it's superwash, it'll dry quickly, I think. So I should be able to give it to her tomorrow on her birthday. That'll be really exciting. So let me see if I can show you mine. So I have finished all the wedges. So what you do with this pattern is you cast on right here, and then you, with the 2 colors, and you knit out wedge, wedge after wedge after wedge, and then you do this epic cable trim. And then finally you add on, let's see if I can show you what this looks like. You add on a third color of, this is confusing, of trim. So you can see I still have it on the needles. What I need to do next is go back to this green color and add a width of that around, and then do an I-cord bind off. So I'm about 6 rows plus I-cord bind off away from finishing. So super happy with it. So let me tell you about the yarns. The pink is this one right here. This is Garn Stories Bliss color. It's a soft pink with flecks of green and purple in it, and it has also a neutral running through it. It looks like maybe the natural wool color, or I'm not sure because I don't dye, so I'm not really sure. The green is Ching Fibers. It's a single. This is a merino sock. Merino sock. So this is a 75-25. This is a superwash merino single from Ching Fiber. I just dropped the ball band, so I'll just put the name on the screen. So this is a pale green. The color is Satellite. It was a special one-time color that Layla did for last Easter. And the purple that is still attached to my shawl is Walk Collection Provence. And it's a purple with pink and green in it. And these are actually 3 of my favorite dyers. I have about, I don't know, 5, 6, 7, 8 favorite dyers. So I was super excited to combine their yarn, and also that they all kind of went together. This one, the pink with green and purple speckles, the green with purple and pink speckles, and then the purple with green and pink speckles. So it all kind of came together for me. So yeah. So you won't see this again on this podcast. I will take some pictures and show you pictures next week. Hopefully on my niece. She's adorable. So she's turning 12, just so you know. So it should be really fun. My other work in progress, I've made good progress on. So last week I cast on the Durami pullover sweater, which is on the cover of this month's or this quarter's Pom Pom magazine. I'll show you what it looks like. I have talked about this for a couple weeks now. But yeah, that's the spec. Basically, on the cover, this yoke part is pink. These triangles are black, and this bottom part is like a brown color. It's made out of a Japanese wool called on the cover called Junmo Mu. I'm not really sure if I'm pronouncing it right. But I really wanted to work with that yarn. I saw it and I checked it out and saw it on Ravelry, and it looks really interesting. And someday I'll knit with it. But I was thinking about this sweater and thinking that it would be a nice mindless knit. And after I got the Snow Bunny off the needles, that had a lot of mindless knitting in it. I was missing having something mindless. I like to take something mindless to work, to knit on, to when I sit in meetings, I sit in a lot of meetings, so I can knit. And also when I'm grading, when I'm grading papers, I like to read and knit. It helps me concentrate if I have knitting needles in my hands. I get less distracted and I am able to, if it's mindless, you can pick it up and so I could, take my hands off my needles and go to my keyboard and type some notes to a student and then go back to knitting while I read and then, back and it's very easy to go back and forth with a straight mindless knit. So yeah, I was really wishing I had a mindless knit on my needles, and I was thinking a lot about this pattern and thinking about the colors that I wanted to pick for it. And then I remembered that I had this beautiful yarn from Stitches Together Studio, which is in Iowa, and it's called In the Buff, and it's a gorgeous neutral with lots of pink and gold speckles in it. It's really, really pretty. And it also has pieces of like large parts of the yarn that are colored pink. You don't really see it too much on screen. Maybe in my second skein. So this is a fingering weight yarn, and the pattern is written for DK. So I took the skeins, caked them up, and now I'm holding 2 strands together of fingering weight to equal DK, just like I did for the arboreal sweater. So now that you've got the background, let me show you the sweater. I am pretty far along. I'm past the color work. I guess I'm going to show you this side. Yeah. Okay. So there you go. Pretty happy with it so far. I'm on to the miles and miles and miles of stockinette. I'm about 20 rows away from splitting for the sleeves, and then it'll just be more and more miles of stockinette knitting. So it's perfect for what I want it for the mindless knitting of it, and it's also so pretty. So pretty. I really am loving these yarns. This top one right here, this is by Lavender Loon Company. She is in Minnesota. And it is called Everlong. It's a beautiful neutral brown with flecks of a I would call it a jade green. And I paired it with Stitches Together. I really didn't know what I was going to do for this. I wanted to stay neutral. I actually considered using this color in there, which would have been interesting, right? But I wanted to stay in the neutral family because I felt like this is going to be a very neutral sweater. And you know what I ended up doing? Remember this from my arboreal sweater? This is Primrose Yarn Company, Like a Hurricane. And it's a very dark blacky purple with little flecks of a bright blue in it and then a lighter lavender in places. And then there's once in a while you get a little pop of a golden orangey color. I thought, yeah, I would use this. And as I started to knit it, I was worried that I maybe underestimated its ability to be contrasty with my Everlong color. But you know what? I think it worked out just fine. Even on screen, it really is popping, and it's doing exactly what I wanted. It's showing up as a really nice neutral. So, yeah, I think I'm really gonna love this. I did already stitch down the neck. You do uh, a fold over neckband on this, and while I was at work waiting for a report on something, I went ahead and stitched it down because I was just like, it's driving me bananas. So once I was finished with the Everlong color, I went ahead and stitched that down. So yeah. Okay, so yeah, that is those basically between the doodler and the Durami pullover. That was about all the knitting I got done. I didn't make any progress. I still have so many whips. Not so many, but I have a couple whips. I have two whips that I really haven't made any progress on for quite a while. One is the socks that I was making for my son for Christmas, and I never got around to finishing them. I have one done, and the other one is a second version of my shawl design pattern, my one shawl design pattern, the shawl that lived, and it's in pinks and it's beautiful, and I really want to get it done because it's so springy. And yeah, so I am hoping that now that I have this, I don't have any more deadlines right now, so that's kind of cool because I have this as a deadline, and then the shawl for my niece as a deadline, and now that those two are put to bed, I can just kind of, yeah, knit whatever I feel like. So I also have a new shawl design. I thought I have come up with yet a third shawl design that I want to do in worsted weight. So I'm hoping to get these cast on this week. And I decided I'm going to use the, I don't know if you remember, if you've seen my Vogue Knitting Live recap video, but this is Long Island Yarn and Farm Company yarn. It's the special color that Christy Glass made with Tabitha of Long Island Yarn and Farm, and it's called Pink is Life. It was a special edition. You cannot get it anymore, I don't think. Don't quote me on that though. But I'm gonna work on a worsted weight shawl design. I'm gonna pair it with this other not Pink is Life. I don't know what this color is called. I'll put it on the down bar. I don't have the tags in here, but I'm gonna pair it up with the leftover yarn from Snow Bunny. So it'll be these three colors together. So yeah, I'm excited to start working on that. I wanna get that on the needles, and my other shawl design, I wanna make progress on that as well. So that's what I have cooking. I also have a couple sweater designs that are spinning around in my head that I really need to just get to writing down. I need to write down the general, the start of the instructions, because they're going to be top down, and I don't want to wing it. I want to have a plan. Also realized I didn't put lipstick on. Probably look really pale, but I'm not redoing this now. I don't have time. All right, so let's move on to stash enhancement. Look at this. This is so springy. This is from Frosted Betty, also known as Sugar Tots yarn. This color is called Peony. So spring-like, right? I had absolutely no plan, and I had no business buying it other than it was just really pretty, and it was such a snowy day a couple weeks ago. She attached this really cute progress keeper. Whoops, let me cover my face so it'll focus on it. There we go. Little dinosaur. So very, very adorable. And I also bought, I'm going to give this to my niece. I'm actually going to clip it on her coat tonight after she goes to bed. This really adorable hot pink narwhal. And other than that, I got another shipment of yarn from Ireland, and this arrived on St. Paddy's Day, which was really cool. I bought 4 skeins of yarn from the indie yarn dyer Ulan, so it's Jess Kavanagh. I recently found out that she used to work for Hedgehog, so I thought that was interesting. And they parted ways for whatever reason. I'm sure it was amicable. So, but I discovered her yarn probably like 6 months ago, or maybe a little bit less than that. And I actually thought she was in Northern Ireland, but it turns out she's in Dublin. And I bought a couple of her skeins, a couple of her yarn from Brooklyn General Store at Vogue Knitting Live, and she posted on Instagram she was having a sale, so I wanted more. So I went ahead and bought 4 different skeins. This one here is called Sulk. Look at how pretty that is. It's on her singles base. This I had bought a skein of this at Vogue Knitting Live, so I bought a second skein. This one's a vessel, also on the singles base. Also, this I love this color. Oh my goodness. This one is called Dame. Look at this dark purple. I actually considered waiting for this to put in my Jerami sweater as the contrast color, but by the time it came, I was already past it. Plus, I think what I picked worked. And then last I bought on her sock base, it's an 80-20 blend called Ghost Rider. Isn't that pretty? A little bit more saturated than the Stitches Together Studio yarn that I'm using for Jerami. But yeah, I think I've been really loving that little pop of gold right there. So pretty. I've been really loving just these deep dark purpley colors. And then to my surprise, there was this cute card in the package, and look what they wrote. This is amazing marketing, by the way. I mean, maybe they say this to all the ladies, I'm not sure, but I was just like, wow, that's so cute. So from their perspective, this is what they were seeing, all these colors together. So I thought that was cool. Really amazing. So yeah, that's my stash enhancement. I don't have any design chat this week other than I did want to share something. I'm going to share something really quickly about design. I always learn something when I knit other people's patterns, and with this one, the pattern is written for us to do sewn bind off, and I had never done sewn bind off before, but I really love it, and I'm probably going to do it from now on. It's so stretchy. It makes for really stretchy. It's perfect on rib. It's really great. And this is all sewn bind off, and it's so easy. I don't know why I didn't do it before. I mean, I have 2 books that are really good books for you to just have in your, at your fingertips. One is called Cast On Bind Off, and the other one is called Increases, Decreases. They're little tiny, I'll put a picture up of these books so you can see what I'm talking about. But they're really good books. There's so many different ways to cast on and bind off, really just depending on what you're doing. And I always just tend to go back, probably like every knitter, just go back to the same old one that you know really well. But the sewn bind off, wow, I like it. Really like it. I also had never done patch pockets before. I mean, I don't remember. Maybe I did long ago. I don't remember doing them before. I've done pockets, but never, I've always done the knit in pockets, not patch. So that was fun to do too, and it was really pretty easy. I wasn't sure how hard it was gonna be to make them straight, but it's actually really easy. You just follow your knit line, and that's it. Yeah, it's pretty simple. So I'm going to try to remember. I started to keep a list of what I've learned, like pattern by pattern, as I knit a pattern, someone else's pattern. What am I learning from knitting that? So I'm going to try to remember to share that with you too, so that so maybe it's also new to you. So anyway, all right. Well, I have a busy day, and I want to get this video up for you before I head out. So thank you for sharing time with me and being here today and checking in with my updates, and hopefully I'm giving you something to watch before the EYF videos start coming out, the haul videos. It looks like everyone really went crazy. I'm looking forward to going there someday, some year coming up in the very near future. And yeah, thank you for being with me. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe. Have a good week, and I'll see you next time. Bye.